Angus Adams, The Adventures of a Free Range Kid, Chapter 1 The Vomit and the Phone. Angus Adams was starting to feel a little uneasy. Things were not going well in the classroom of 5-6A. The immediate problem was that Ryan Evans was going to vomit. Beneath the fiery red hair, his face was the colour of sour cream. He was clutching his stomach and, most persuasive, he was saying he was going to vomit. Unfortunately, Miss Kirkland seemed less convinced. She was in a mood this afternoon, and when Miss Kirkland was in a mood, you did what she said when she said, if not sooner. You didn't talk, and you certainly didn't ask questions. You kept your head down and your bum up and avoided eye contact at all cost. Eye contact with a moody Miss Kirkland was the equivalent of a World War One soldier at Gallipoli sticking his head up out of the trench to have a bit of a look around. You were likely to get it blown off, or at least yelled off. "Do you think I'm stupid?" she asked poor Ryan, who was cowering before her. "Seriously, do I look stupid?" Two different questions, thought Angus, but he knew better than to point it out. "I've lost count of the number of times you've claimed to be feeling sick lately, Ryan," Miss Kirkland continued. "But it's always just before maths. I wonder if anyone else can see a pattern." Of course, Perry Pritchard immediately stuck up his hand only to have it snapped at him that the question had been rhetorical. Angus watched Perry scratch rhetorical into his leather pocket notebook of new words that First Break had told him he was in a quandary over whether to eat his strawberries first or his tiny teddies. Finn muttered that Perry was a dork. Angus agreed. Looking like an angry butterfly in her floppy, flowery top, Miss Kirkland sighed and told Ryan to sit down. "And now you, Luke," she said, moving on to the next problem. Luke was what Angus's mother would call a difficult child. To be fair, he was a perfectly nice, friendly, well-behaved boy 90% of the time. But for the other 10%, he was not nice or friendly, and certainly not well-behaved. There was no denying he suffered from anger management issues, and no secret he hated maths, which is why he was currently refusing to move to his desk and take out his maths book. "Luke, let me make it clear that I am not putting up with this today. Leave the computer and move to your desk now." Luke ignored her completely as though deaf. Angus knew things were about to get interesting. Normally he might find this mildly entertaining, but he was too busy watching Ryan next to him, whose sour cream face was now distinctly tinted with shades of avocado, which is only a good combination if you're talking nachos. "You okay?" Angus whispered. Little beads of glistening sweat had popped out all over Ryan's forehead like morning dew on lawn, but Ryan just looked back at him with big wet eyes. He clearly wasn't faking it. Angus knew he should do something. But what? Any speaking up on Ryan's behalf was going to mean eye contact with Miss Kirkland. This was going to take some serious guts. Did he have serious guts? To make matters worse, the classroom phone kept ringing as though it was unaware that now was not a good time. As its shrill chirp carved the air, Layla, this week's class receptionist, bounced over to answer it, all dimples and swinging ponytail. She called out in her sing-songy voice that it was Hamish's mother again asking to speak to Hamish. Up the front, Miss Kirkland rubbed her temples. Hamish was Angus's closest friend, kind of his best friend, except that best friends were more of a girl thing. They had best friends or best friends forever, BFF, second best friends, and often third best friends. It was a mystery how they kept track of it. Of course, Layla probably had it noted somewhere on her mobile phone. Her mother wouldn't need to call the class phone. Angus's parents didn't think that kids in primary school needed their own phones, and he wasn't at all envious of those who did. Well, not much anyway. The beads of sweat were now having relay races down Ryan's face. Angus dug deep and summoned up all the guts he could find. Excuse me, Miss Kirkland, but I really think right. Not now, Angus, said Miss Kirkland without moving her gaze from Luke, who was still refusing to budge. The class had gone quiet. All eyes moved between the teacher and Luke, as though it was an exciting tennis match. In an icy tone, way scarier than when she yelled, Miss Kirkland informed Luke he had one last chance to move his desk before there were consequences. Luke, finally looking up and using his own icy tone, told her what she could do with her consequences. Look out, thought Angus. Miss Kirkland's gonna lose it.